there is so many lies out there and a lot of financial noise out there. Our ability to discern what is a lie, what is a scam is so important.
Welcome to the WinEH podcast. This show is focused on empowering ranchers. Whether you're a seasoned rancher or just getting started, we'll guide you on how to use the infinite banking concept as an alternative way to finance your operations. It's a better way to think about money. Join us as we discuss planning for the future, attracting the next generation, and the art of keeping more money within the family. Here's your hosts, Winnie and Lacy.
Hey, welcome. We are so glad that you're leaning in to join us on our next conversation that we felt inspired to have with you today. And it got sparked by something that Lacy is going to show you just really quickly on the screen.
Yeah. Okay. So this little card here that I got in the mail is sparking this conversation because it says guaranteed loan. Lacy, scan this code to accept this $10,000 offer. And when I opened this, I knew it was junk mail, but I opened it and I thought, oh my gosh, some poor soul who is in need of money or in a tight spot would actually scan this because it seems like a solution to a problem that they're facing. But I'm like, what are the terms? I know there's terms. You got to pay it back and they're going to charge you an atrocious amount of interest. But I'm not going to scan it because that seems like a ticking bomb to me.
So help us provide just a little bit more context.
A little bit context?
What is this, just straight up junk mail, or was this triggered by something else?
So I made a purchase a few years ago of a piece of furniture, and it was 0% for the 12 months. So I purchased it and I paid it in installments. And because I did that, they now send me offers, actually quite often, but I usually just shred them. But I was going through some mail this week and I just opened some stuff and oh, what's this or whatever, because I could feel a card in here. And that's what this card was. You can just scan this offer, scan this code and get $10,000. And I was like, it just set me aback because I guess I got a little bit protective of someone who may not know what the true cost of scanning this code is.
Yeah, every time we participate in a sort of a financial transaction, I think that it's very rare for any of us to really think about the long-term impact of getting involved with that. Right? If we say yes to something, we don't particularly think about what's the administration of saying yes to this. Once I own this, once I get this, what is going to happen down the road years later of the impact of saying yes to this. And so for you, it was you decided to get financing on a piece of furniture, that financing company at the furniture store, which can change, right? Even same thing. Furniture, cars, doesn't matter, right? The lenders can change behind who support and lend the money. And then they have your information and they're going to solicit to you. And then depending on where a person is at in their life, if they're financially vulnerable or if they haven't had any particular guidance, coaching.
Yeah, if they just don't know, right?
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah. And again, every financial decision we make either contributes to how much money we have over the long term or takes it away. You know a little bit better because you've had at least a good 25 years of living experience on your own. But what about those early 20-something-year-olds, even 30-year-olds?
Yeah. And somebody in a pinch. So to me, this is kind of like baiting. Okay. If you're in a pinch or you see a problem, in our previous episode that we recorded, we talked about identifying the problem or actually seeing that there is a problem and then a solution to fix it. So for me, this could be some poor soul has a problem and they see this as the solution, but they are naive to know what the true cost of solving that problem with this card. it inspired me even more to keep on sharing what we're sharing, because it's taking back that control for our clients from these people, from the lenders.
Yeah. And they're never going to stop.
No.
They're never going to stop. And it can come in many different forms. It doesn't have to be like little pieces of mail. I mean, it could come from our own lending institutions. I get it all the time. The offers of, hey, you know, if you have debt somewhere else, you can transfer it onto your existing debt and we'll give it 0% for 12 months, which we affectionately, I mean, their figure of speech, if you don't know, is known as robbing Peter to pay Paul. It can get into that vicious cycle of transferring and the game of paying less interest among your own debts. And the lending institutions, they gave us a solution to a problem that they created.
Yeah, and I think the inspiration here that keeps coming to me is think outside of the box. Believe that you can change the course of your financial future. Commit to a plan and be dedicated, because we've seen it with our own clients. And we've recently had some on the podcast that with a clear action plan or an idea of what do you want to accomplish, dedication and some time, you can never be tempted to scan a code like this ever again, because you've created your own pool of money. Because for me, because I know what I know and we've created what we've created with our own banking system, this isn't even a thought in my head. It's going right in my shredder as soon as this episode's done. And that's what I want for other people too.
Yeah. And to add to what you're saying there, Lacy, what this brings up for me is Nelson always talked about there is so many lies out there and a lot of financial noise out there. And our ability to discern what is a lie, what is a scam is so important. So you just identified one type. And this brings to mind something that has been coming face to face with like close people in my circle, but also you hear about it all the time. It's like people getting scammed. And getting scammed happens in so many different forms. Some of it is in our faces and is perfectly legal. And it's happening. And then there's a lot that is going on that is so shady and is not completely legal. And it is picked up since COVID, right? And so managing our cash flow, being astute, right? Even paying attention, like even if you don't like, I mean, just the basic things of like really making it a habit to check your accounts all the time.
Yeah. And I think we've developed that, right? Where we meet every Friday morning, 8:00. Winnie and I have a date every Friday morning at 8:00, and we don't work. It's not work. We work on our own personal finances. It's something to do with our financial picture in our own personal lives. And because we have that standing Friday morning, 8 a.m. date, we just always know where things are and what's the health of our financial picture, right?
And then when we're always constantly looking at the truth of our numbers, we get to decide what action do we want to take next? Do you want it to stay the same? Do we want to do something about it? If you're not looking at your finances and when you're surprised, when you take a look at you're not where you want to be, you are a prime candidate for a scam. To take and scan something like that QR code, you are prime for being preyed upon by those that hide in the messenger, like, you know, the messenger world. They track you. Those scammers are in it for the long haul. They will weasel their way in and they will isolate you from your family. They will tell you that you deserve more. They will pretend that they love you over your own family, and they will slowly ask for your banking information. They'll get you to do things based on like a promise of a huge return. And they will take their time earning your trust to do that.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild and it's maddening. Yeah. So it's fuel for the fire for me to just continue doing what we're doing and sharing this concept because, man, the people deserve it.
Yeah, we definitely all deserve to live a really, really great life, for sure. So again, with that being said, like, I'm so glad you're like, oh man, this just really pissed me off. It's like, let's just talk about it because this happens all the time.
Well, yeah, because I know better, but the next person might not know better. And that breaks my heart, right? It doesn't matter who it is, but it's heartbreaking that people are preyed upon. And so with that, this was a $10,000 offer. How about you look into how you can build your own $10,000? How can you build your own $10,000 offer and not even have to give this thing even a thought?
And I think that will be the difference between feeling like you'll always have enough. And there's no time like the present to really just start diving into, I guess, everything that we're sharing, because there's nothing quick about it. I mean, it will challenge everything that you understand about what you don't know or what you have been doing. And little by little, hopefully you'll catch on to what we're talking about, that this is a lifestyle. And if you follow this lifestyle, you will feel a lot more financial peace in your heart without having to feel like you need to rely on someone else to save you financially, because you're the only one. It all starts with you, like you being able to save yourself. No one's going to care more about your money than you. No one. So you're going to either be pulled in by external sources, such as a QR code. What we're doing here is a little bit different. We're pulling you in with knowledge, sharing our experiences, and this will either resonate with you or it won't. This is why not everyone can do the same thing, is because we're all in different places.
Right. If you don't get started, then you don't get started. But getting started, the sooner you get started, the sooner you are to taking care of yourself and building your own pool of money. And so get the book. The book is where you start. It's going to inform you. You're going to walk away from the book knowing, one, like you just said, Winnie, does this even resonate with me? You're going to know that by the end of the book. And then you're going to know how to proceed to get started. If you're not a reader, you can still go to our website, rancherway.com, and subscribe to our video series. So we have an introductory video series, 4-part series, and that can get you informed and ready for your first consultation with us, and you'll know whether it resonates with you. So there's options for everybody. We have over 40 podcast episodes now. We have a YouTube channel. Send us some comments. We would love to see some comments flowing in on there. Share our podcast. Give us a review on Apple or Spotify. We appreciate you guys listening, and we'll see you next time.
So glad you leaned in with us on the WinEH podcast. We truly hope you're feeling more informed and empowered to take another step towards optimizing your financial life. Right now, make sure you hit subscribe so you can keep growing and learning with us. Until next time, we wish you prosperity in every area of your life.